Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing inquiry line from you to me and my crew for your questions about buying this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a real rarity. This is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Day-Date 2288349 in white gold with factory brilliant diamond bezel. Brilliant cut diamonds ringing a lovely sunburst metallic green dial with applique white gold Roman numerals. The timepiece, 40 millimeters in diameter in terms of its total dimensions. You can see that it's 11.9 millimeters thick, and because of the pivoted end links of the new President bracelet, it is a compact 47.3 millimeters lug-to-lug with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now the timepiece, of course, launched in 2015, succeeding the Day-Date 2, which was 1 millimeter larger. This one is almost better proportioned in every regard, but the real difference is the pivoted end link of the bracelet, which means it is under 48 millimeters lug-to-lug instead of the previous watch's 53. If you couldn't wear the first one, you definitely want to try this one. Now we'll quickly zoom out, throw it on my wrist, white gold, or I should say Rolex gray gold. The difference between gray gold and white gold is that white gold needs to be rhodium plated to make it white, and it can be scratched through to show the milky yellow underneath. Gray gold is 18 karat white gold that is homogeneous, so if scratched, it shows just more white metal underneath and it never needs to be plated. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see this gray gold watch wears easily, comfortable, compact across the wrist, plenty clearance on both sides. It's a good fit. Jumping back to the President bracelet, which has been part of the watch nicknamed President since it bowed in 1955, but the bracelet is called President, and I'll also call it innovative in this case because it uses ceramic coated pins inside of the links, so you eliminate Rolex bracelet stretch, which is not caused by the stretching of links, but the wearing down of the diameter of the pins. So being ceramic coated, the white gold can never aggress against them and wear them down. You can see polished center, polished outer face. There are satin finished shoulders, and then you have removable links fixed in place by screws. Full polished white gold clasp with a beacon to hook system internally, and so you can see it locking shut. This is a crown clasp, of course. The only partition point Q is that 5-point Rolex coronet, and it is now a vertical trigger rather than simply a shim to pry the whole thing open. So the trigger must be unlocked, and it is a very secure system in practice. We have a twin lock crown for 100-meter water resistance. 2 dots, symmetrical, means you are looking at a twin lock in gold, white gold here. The case is all of high polish, lug hoods as well as case flanks with a wonderful sinuous compound curvature. This is not the super case you see on the sports watches, and it has a wonderful mirrored sheen and light dances like fire across its surface. You have that distinctive, and I would even say model-defining bezel, as it features channeling and pincers for brilliant cut gems that are identical in clarity and carats. All the way around, you can see that they have been computer sorted and optically evaluated for visual symmetry and consonance, but at the same time they are laid by hand, making this one of the few handmade Rolex watches of the modern era that you will ever encounter. Gem setting is still done manually at Rolex. Now the other thing I can shout out here is that there's a wonderfully nuanced dial, sort of olive green with a metallic sunburst radiating out from the center. We have lovely faceted and generously proportioned white gold Roman numerals with white gold hands at center and a white gold Rolex coronet. Now there is a railroad track outboard for reading the seconds and the minutes, and you can see I have 2 subsidiary setting modes. I have hacking or stop seconds, and then I have the double quick set, so I can adjust the date if I want, and then I can also adjust the day, and I don't need to spin the hour hand to make that happen. Inside the case, new generation caliber 3255, a 70-hour power reserve, courtesy of the Liga fabricated Chronergy escapement, which is basically Rolex's answer to Omega's coaxial from a technical standpoint, and there is a larger mainspring inside a thinned out mainspring barrel with a new set of reprofiled train wheels. Still 31 joules, beaten away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It features a rotor bearing for the winding system rather than the previous smooth but somewhat fragile jeweled staff, so it's tougher. Also contributing to toughness, a free-sprung balance and a full balance bridge for shock resistance. There is a handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring that allows the watch to be regulated in 6 positions prior to casing and 5 positions prior to the COSC test. So the watch is a chronometer thanks to multi-position adjustment and that overcoil hairspring, but then Rolex cases it up after the bare movement test of the COSC and regulates regulates it to no worse than -2 + 2 seconds per day, which Rolex dubs Superlative Chronometer, and the watch certainly is that. The timepiece, of course, wonderfully tough, water resistant, and universally wearable, even on small wrists, is a timepiece of extraordinary versatility, but a very particular aesthetic. You have to love the idea of the gems and embrace all of these carats and the character that comes with carats. One more technical detail, Rolex uses a niobium zirconium blue oxidized hairspring for anti-magnetism, so water resistant, shock resistant, and anti-magnetic. It's an all-around sports watch in the body of a dress watch. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing and purchase details.